on off a lamp in a power circuit using a relay. So in this, you can observe we have used a transistor BJT, bipolar junction transistor is been used, and again this is in CE mode, and input is given to the base of the transistor. And since here we just looking for on and off, so we consider to switch on the transistor 5 volt is the input, to switch off the transistor 0 volt is the input. So only we have taken two levels, 0 volt and 5 volt. If I give 5 volt, transistor will on. If I give 0 volt, transistor will off. And to the collector part, we have connected the relay. So relay is a system which is made up of a coil and a contact or a switch kind of thing. So which is going to isolate AC from DC. Whenever you are going to use AC circuit as well as DC circuit together, during that time we are going to use this relay. See here, this part is AC and this part is DC, because here we are using plus 12 volt DC supply, and we are giving it to the transistor, and the BJT, bipolar junction transistor, whatever we are using here, is not having that much capability, even though it can amplify AC signal also, but it doesn't have that much capability to withstand 240 volt supply. Because in our lab, whatever the transistors, small signal transistors we use, they can just uh, amplify within the range of 20 volt to 30 volt. That's it. But when it comes to 240 volt supply, it will be having a high power. So that much amount of voltage, this transistors cannot withstand. So they'll burst out. If you give 240 volt directly to the transistor, they'll burst out. They'll not have that much capability. So always for all, even though we need a 240 volt supply, 230 volts or 240 volt supply, but for our devices, electronic devices, maybe for the computer or a TV, anything, so they need DC signal finally. Our laptop, everything needs a DC signal. So it will be stepped down and then it will be rectified and then it will be regulated. So that is what we have studied in the first module, the 240 the rectifier applications. The AC supply is stepped down to the required level, then it is rectified to get it converted to DC. Then we need to convert it into the regulated voltage. Because if it is fluctuating, that will affect the working of the device. But again, one more question you may get, then why you need a 240 volt supply? See, DC signal cannot be transmitted for a longer distance. So only AC signal can be transmitted from a longer distance, from the power generation unit to the domestic areas. So we cannot transmit DC signal. So, and whatever the signal that is getting generated there, that is in AC only. If you want to convert that to DC and then you want to transmit it also, it is not possible because it doesn't have frequency. So we might lose in the middle. The entire energy we might lose in the middle. So that's why, because of this limitations, we transmit AC signals only to the residential areas also, even though majority of our devices use DC. But some of the devices like the motors, water pump motors, all those things, they still use direct AC supply. So they in that case will not have any conversion of AC to DC. They require AC signal directly. But when you take majority components as a whole, then majority of the electronic devices are the devices which we use for our comfort zone. at residence and all, they are going to use DC signals only. So that's why, because internally everything will be controlled by the DC circuit ICs. So when you talk, just remember, if there is an IC, you remember DC is the signal which is working in it. You cannot use AC in the IC, because it will be working for plus 5 volt minus, as we have seen in op amp and all. So there we need a conversion rectifier circuit, so which is going to convert this AC to DC, and which will be finally given to the DC. But if you have AC signal, then it cannot work with a constant phase. I mean, it will be having fluctuations. So this is about the basics, why we go for AC. And one of your, just for adding on, that is not there for the syllabus, just one of your friend had messaged me, can I again explain why mobile phones are not used in near the petrol bunks? That is not related to this topic, but still, as he asked me, see, whenever we are using mobile phones, it is not that if you use automatically it will catch fire. There may be chances, there may be chances of catching fire. It will not happen. 95% it will not happen, or 99% it will not happen, but there is a chance of 1%, because whatever the signals that are getting transmitted are electromagnetic signals which has energy in it. So because radiation, they are basically radiations which has which will be transmitted in the air in the form of electromagnetic waves. So this electromagnetic waves has some amount of voltage in it, and when you use this mobiles, and suddenly if you get a call, this electromagnetic signal is going to come and hit to the your receiver, that is mobile antenna. So and then you are going to get the call. This is how it happens. So during that time there may be chances where in the petrol pump, some as you know, there is a petrol for putting the petrol, they'll be using petrol gun, so their vapors will be there. So this vapors, if they get in contact with this electromagnetic waves, so they may catch fire. So that's why they will tell to avoid using the phones near the petrol bunk. Chances are less, but still we cannot tell 100% it will not happen. There may be chances also. So that's why we will be not using. So that's about his query. Coming to this, on and off, the transistor, in the initial stage, we are using, as I told, relay to isolate AC from DC. And you can observe that we are using one diode here. Why? Because even though we use this relay circuit for isolating AC from DC, sometimes there may be a chance of getting the high energy back from the coil towards the transistor. So that's why, to avoid that, we are using one diode. Let me now explain you how actually the circuit works. Whenever 5 volt is given, the transistor will get forward bias. When transistor will get forward biased, during that time, the collector is going to send a signal. So the collector is going to send the signal, because it is in CE configuration, and we know that IC is equal to beta times IB. For with respect to this, the collector is going to send the collector current. So because of this, what happens when this current is going to flow through this coil, then this coil will get energized. As you know, when a current is passed through the coil, it is going to create a magnetic field around it. So it will be creating magnetic field, which you have studied in your 11th and 12th, 10th, 11th and all. So solenoid experiments and all, you might have already done. So similar to that, when a current is passed through this coil, a magnetic field is created across this. When a magnetic field is created across this, during that time, this contact which was open, it will because of this attraction, this contact will be closed. When this contact will be closed, during that time, the 230-volt supply, which is connected to this line, it will pass through this and it will pass to the bulb, so that the bulb is going to glow. Then again, suppose if you are going to give 0 volt to the transistor, you are going to switch off. So during that time, the current which is going here will be stopped. So there will be no current. So because this will be in reverse bias condition, and you know that when transistor is in reverse bias condition, ideally it offers infinite resistance. Practically, it offers higher value of resistance. So the current will not be produced. Because of that, this coil will not get energized. So when the coil will not get energized, so magnetic field will not be produced. So this contact will be broken, that is switch will be open. When the switch is open, during that time the current which was coming here will be having an open circuit. When it will be having an open circuit, the current we cannot be supplied to this bulb, so that the bulb will be off. Now coming to why we are using this diode is, see, when the contact was closed here, when this contact was closed here, during that time AC supply was there. Because of that AC supply, it will have some impact over this coil also. When you suddenly switch off this transistor, during that time, already energy, some amount of energy will be stored in this coil. Because suddenly if you switch off, the coil will not lose the energy suddenly, because the magnetic field has to destroy itself. So it will not happen suddenly. So during that time, what happens, that energy which is stored can reverse, can come back again, and it might hit the transistor. Because of that reverse energy, the transistor might get damaged. So in order to overcome this, what we are going to do is, we are going to add one diode like this. You can see that if the current is coming in a reverse direction, in this direction from the coil, for that current, the transistor is offering maximum resistance. But this path, since diode is connected in forward bias condition, this diode will offer least resistance. When this diode is going to offer least resistance, the current will choose this path instead of choosing this path. So the diode will get forward biased and it will be looped here. So in this way, we are going to protect the transistor. To protect this transistor, we are going to use this diode here. So this is how this uh, transistor as a switch is going to work to switch on and off the power circuit. And obviously 12-volt DC supply, it is required to uh, for this relay circuit. For this relay circuit, we need a 12-volt DC supply for that particular circuit to work. So for that purpose, we are using a DC supply. So this is about the working of the lamp, transistor to switch on and off the lamp. If you have any doubts, you can ask me. If you explain this much, it's more than sufficient. Okay. So after this, we have some small problems. We'll solve those problems. So, okay. So determine the value of RC for the circuit shown in figure if gain is 60, voltage gain is 60, and RE dash is 40 ohm. RE dash is 40 ohm. So this is a simple problem, which is going to use the working principle of transistor as an amplifier. So RB, and they have given the voltage across this is 240 millivolt, and this is VBB, and this is VS, and this is RC, and this is where we take the output. This is VCC. So this VCC can be connected, you can write like this or like this also. Both are same. Positive will be connected to the collector, negative will be connected to the ground. If you write like this, it is understood that the other terminal is grounded. Both are same. So there is no difference in it. Okay. So let us write the given. So voltage gain is 60, RA dash is 40 ohm. So it is directly known formula. So AV is equal to RC by RA dash. So how much you'll get?
2,400.
2400 ohm. So that is it is 2.4 kilo ohm. So usually we'll write the resistance in terms of kilo ohm. Next, for the circuit shown in figure, V in is equal to 0 volt. First question, find the value of VCE when V in is equal to 0 volt. Second one, if beta is equal to 200 with negligible VCE saturation, determine the minimum value IB required to saturate the transistor. The last one, find the RB max when V in is equal to 5 volt. So RB V in on we'll take it as 1.4 kilo ohm. This is 12 volt and this is the output. So given, so RC is equal to 1.4 kilo ohm. So since whatever is connected to the collector part, that is collector resistance, and VCC is equal to 12 volt. So the first question is find the value of VCE when V in is equal to 0. So when in the yesterday's class only I was telling, there are two regions of operation when you take transistor as a switch. So what are the two regions of operation? Hmm?
Saturation and cutoff.
Saturation region and cutoff region. So what does saturation region indicate and what does cutoff region indicate?
In saturation region, current will be maximum and voltage will be 0.
Hmm.
In cutoff region, current will be 0, voltage will be maximum.
Yes, good. So in cutoff, voltage will be maximum, current will be 0. In saturation, current will be maximum, voltage will be 0. So that means in saturation region, the transistor will be in on state. In cutoff region, transistor will be in off state. So when you take here only, so VCE means it is across these two, collector and emitter. So if you take in this case, when transistor is in off state, whatever the voltage which you are going to get across this, the same voltage you'll be getting across the output. And whenever in off state, the output, whatever we get here, will be equal to plus 12 volt. So we can directly write it as VCE is equal to VCC, that is equal to 12 volt. Okay. So we the entire during that time only this portion of the circuit will be operative, because since the current cannot flow like this, only this portion is operative. So whatever the voltage we are having here, that will be appearing across 1.4 kilo ohm. So that's why V naught, that is VCE, will be equal to 12 volt. Coming to the second one, beta. So what is this beta?
Current gain.
Current gain of which configuration?
Common emitter.
Common emitter. So if it is gamma,
Common collector.
common collector. If it is alpha,
Common base.
common base. Correct. So these are the three things we are having, but since it is in common emitter configuration, we consider beta. So beta is equal to 200. Please remember this beta is fixed for a given transistor. I will pick up one transistor while purchasing the transistor only. If you go for an electronic shop and you ask for transistor, during that time they'll ask you how much current gain you want. So there are the numbering for the transistor will be like this: SL100, SK100, BC, BC 150, like this. So SL100, this indicates the gain of that particular transistor is 100, and L indicates it is NPN transistor. K indicates it is PNP transistor with a current gain of 100, and BC150, this indicates, C indicates it is an NPN transistor, and 150 indicates the current gain of it. Okay, and that will be fixed for a given transistor. In the manufacturing time, in the fabrication, or during the manufacturing time only, this will be decided, and based upon that only doping will be done. So we cannot change it. So in this case, when beta is equal to 200 with a negligible VCE saturation. So as they have told it is negligible, so obviously we take it as approximately equal to 0 volt. So when we take it as 0 volt, during that case, if you apply KVL, Kirchhoff voltage law, to this outermost loop, starting from this point is VCC. So VCC, coming to this point, I had told entering point is positive, leaving point is negative, and the current which is flowing through this is which current?
IC.
IC. So minus IC into RC. And coming to this point, when you are taking this loop, we need to take the potential difference between these two. So the potential difference between these two is VCE, and that will be equal to 0. As they have only told that VCE saturation is 0. So this tends to 0. We can directly find out IC saturation, that is equal to VCC by RC. So what is the value?
So 8.57 milliampere.
8.57 milliamps. And make sure that the collector current always, this is way we need to cross verify. Always the collector current will be in terms of milli only. If you are getting collector current in micro, then somewhere you have gone wrong. Okay, it is milliampere, it is correct. So after this, they have asked IB required to saturate the minimum value of IB. So IB minimum we need to find. IB minimum is equal to I, and we have the formula IC is equal to beta times IB by current gain formula. So IB minimum is equal to IC saturation by beta. So what is the value?
4.285.
4.285
ampere.
ampere. Please check it.
Sir, 42.8 microamperes.
Yeah, you'll never get in ampere, because collector only will not getting, we will be not getting amperes. So this should be in micro, 42.8 micro amps. That is the base current. So after this, the last part, find RB max when V in is equal to 6 volt. So in order to find the RB max, what we need to do is we need to apply KVL to this particular loop, starting from input to the ground, because input means it will be some battery. It will be like this. So this forms one loop. So can you tell me, in this particular situation, what and all the components which we'll be getting? That means the voltage and currents in this loop. I'll start from this. This is V in. So V in is there. After that, what you'll get? How you are going to write when you apply KVL? I had told when you apply KVL, we need to write it in terms of voltage or current only. Voltage or product of current and resistance only. So I'm starting from this minus to plus V in, coming to this plus to minus. So the current through RB will be IB. So it will be minus IB into RB, or you can take it as VRB. But so VRB, whenever if they are asking for the voltage across RB, you can take it as VRB directly. If they are asking for RB max, then you consider IB into RB. Both will do. Minus VBE is equal to 0. So V in. If you want to find VRB, then VRB is equal to, see, VBE is the voltage between the base and the emitter, and usually the transistor whatever we are going to use is a silicon transistor, and it will be having a drop of 0.7. This is standard value. You should consider it as 0.7 if they are not given. Suppose if they are given, neglect the cut-in voltage or neglect VBE, then you consider it as 0. If they are not giving, consider VBE as 0.7. So we will be having 6 minus 0.7, it is 5.3 volt. This is the voltage what we are having. Suppose if you are if they are asking for RB, then rearrange this equation. V in minus VBE divided by IB is equal to RB. So RB is equal to, so V in is already known, 6 minus 0.7 divided by IB. In the last case we have got IB as 42.8 micro. So may I know what is the answer for this? What is RB value?
123.8 kilo ohm.
123.8 kilo ohm. Okay. So always RB value should be maximum. You should not get RB value less than RC value. It is 1.4 kilo ohm. This is 123.8 kilo ohm. That should be perfect, because since the current through base is less, obviously resistance should be maximum. So that's why we'll be getting maximum resistance. So these are some of the problems on this. So in the next class we can continue with the rest of the portions. So till here